Welcome back to Dracon's Plays, Dark Souls Remastered. Alright, so, we're essentially rocking the same build as before, except I have now bumped Ricard's Rapier up to plus 13. Now, using our newly obtained Crest of Artorias, we are able to open this door. Alright. Now, what we are going to do is sprint through. Because this area is not great. Alright, sprint through to this back room and talk.
Thou fared well to find me.
Oh god, the phrasing of these, I should have looked these up beforehand.
My advice true. Forget this. The legend of Artorias art none but a fabrication. Traversing the dark. 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say.
So that is the most confusing block of text ever. So if I'm remembering correctly, what she's actually asking is, do you seek the grave of Artorias? I do not.
I see. The result most heathenish and gross. Then there is nothing more to say about this tedious reckoning. Begone from here, pernicious caitiff.
God damn it.
Begone.
Her dialogue is nonsense. Okay, I'll get back to that. Dear God. Like, whoever wrote her dialogue, whoever didn't put on the dialogue box at the end there what the actual question was, like, seriously, it's ridiculous. Stone armor. Alright. Raining outside. Don't know if you guys can hear it. Moss-covered helm of the Stone Knight, defender of the Darkroot Garden. The Stone Knight is a product of ancient magic, and although this helm is also imbued with magic, it is incredibly heavy. And the rest of the description is the same. Alright. So now we have this wooded area. There is not much in here. We got a bunch of mushroom men. Well, if you want to get technical, mushroom children. Over there we have a big glow. So back here is one of the few chests that one can find in the area. Damn. They hit like a truck. Alright, gold pine resin. Yeah, you don't really want to get in a trading war with these guys. 2 gold pine resin. Nice. Enchanted Ember. Alright. So while we're over here and we're doing decently, let's go ahead over this way. Alright. So, this boss fight is actually one of the things that the remaster improved a little bit. Man, that door texture, though. That door texture looks great. That seam. Sheesh. Anyways. So, this boss fight, just due to the textures and not particles, but just due to some of the effects on the boss, was a it actually had a lot of effects on the performance of the game. For instance, my PC cannot play the like Prepare to Die edition, specifically due to this boss fight and a few other locations throughout the game. Hornet Ring. Boosts critical attacks. One of the special rings granted to the 4 Knights of Gwyn. The Hornet Ring belonged to the Lord's Blade Kieran. By boosting critical attacks, its wearer can annihilate foes, as Kieran's dagger laid waste to Lord Gwyn's enemies. And then you walk around to the front towards the sword, and we trigger a cutscene. Now, if you do the DLC before you fight Sif, you get a slightly different cutscene. So instead of Sif just jumping down, grabbing the sword, Sif looks down at you, like starts to growl, then softens and recognizes you. Sheesh. Damn it, Seth. My poise! My poise got me killed. I do, like, no damage. What was that back down? Okay. Well, let's take advantage of this moment. Alright. Well, let's go for it again. I really, really hate Alvina's questions. They're really garbage, especially because you can't attempt to re-answer. You actually need, if I remember correctly, answering her questions incorrectly results in you needing to seek absolution. Which is the stupidest thing. Why does that count as sin? Like, seriously. Alright. So, one of the problems I generally have with Sif is Sif can get in just stupid loops where it just keeps jumping back. I stuttered there because the gender of Sith is not terribly clear. I think it's never specifically referenced in-game, but should be noted, Sif is the name of a ah! God! I rolled against his leg and got pushed outside. Ironic that poise is actually a detriment in this fight. Because if you have poise, you end up not getting knocked off your feet. Really, really weird problem. Really specific problem. Alright. I've never been good at fighting Sif. It's not a particularly hard fight, but some of the issues just come in with where it's like, yeah, you can't poise tank this fight. Sif does too much damage. And poise tanking results in you getting double tapped by the spin. I also seem to have the worst luck with Sif's RNG, where Sif just like weirds out and constantly like backs off, jumps around the arena. This was the first time I got that particular. Like both of those were super weird. I've never had Sif just back off like he did in the first round, or like tight circle me like she did in the second. And yes, I purposely switched pronouns there. But yeah, it is the name of a female goddess. Why? Why do you do so much? I hate that one. Like, forever get that late roll. Early roll. This is like the worst weapon I could have. But no, the fur effects on Sif tend to be super hard on either games or consoles. God damn it. There we go. Alright, so I knocked most of Sith's health off, and now I'm gonna back off. So we get this unique mechanic where Sith is limping. All attacks have been weakened. Sith gets weaker at the end of the fight. Sith is seriously injured, but keeps at it. All attacks have reduced damage, reduced swing speed. I'm trying to get the really sad one. There's one attack where Sith, like, falls over, attempting to do it. Like, follow-ups are not really a thing. There it is. Covenant of Artorias and Soul of Sith. This ring symbolizes Knight Artorias' covenant with the beasts of the Abyss. It's where, like Artorias himself, can traverse the Abyss. And then Soul of Sith, the Great Grey Wolf, who guards the grave of Artorias the Gravewalker. Use the Soul of Sith, who inherited the Divine Knighthood, to acquire a huge amount of souls or to create a unique weapon. So, Sith's gender is never given in any of those. It's very unique in that regard. Now then. Let's return to the bonfire. And let's actually go to seek forgiveness. That is not what I wanted. It reset to the beginning because I died. That's annoying. Anyway, so we are going to go and seek forgiveness. Yeah, we're going to go and seek forgiveness for Elvina. So that way we can get into that covenant, because it does give us access to a unique NPC. The only way to meet him is through that covenant. And we have a little bit of other cleanup in the forest besides. Alright. Now, let's see. Okay, alright. Oh boy. Like, the entire thing with Elvina is the stupidest. Like, why? Why is the question written so poorly? Oh, the actual question is probably, art thou new? At the very beginning. That's so stupid. Yeah, I had meant to look up Elvina's dialogue before we got to her, but completely slipped my mind when I started this episode up. Man, like, there's a few points in this game where it's just like, what were they doing? What were they thinking? Elvina's dialogue is one of them. Where it's just like, what? Why is it like this? Why is it obtuse for no reason? That was dumb. Alright. I'm hearing thunder, that's not great. I might cut this one off because the last thing I want is to lose power and potentially corrupt parts of my recording. Because we already had enough of that last time with my random recording PC crash. So, after I seek absolution here, I might break off the episode. Okay, saw lightning. 32,000. Alright. Yeah, so with that, I'm going to pause it for now. On your end, it'll immediately come back. So anyways, see you guys in just a second. Alright, and I am back again. So today has been a weird one for, like the Dark Souls LP. Like, man, today has been messy. Between computer crashes and thunderstorms, these two episodes have just been all types of messed up. Hopefully that ends up just being a today thing. Anyways. Let us go. Alright, so let's do this correctly this time.
Is it not so that thou art near?
So there's the question.
Thou fared well to find me, but cometh thee not for the grave of Sir Artorius? My advice true.
Cometh thee not.
Forget this.
Yes, I do not come. Why is it like this?
Traversing the dark. 'Tis but a fairy tale. Have thine own respect. Go not yonder knocking for nothing, I say.
Yes.
Well, indeed, thou art a strange one. Nevertheless, I feel some liking for thee.
Thank you.
I'm Alvina of the Darkroot Wood. I command a clan of hunters who track down defilers of the forest graves. What dost thou say? Wilt thou not join us? Oh, yes, I believe we would suit thee well.
I will join.
I am very glad. And now thou art one of us. Let us establish a covenant.
Yes. Join the forest hunters. Covenant established.
And here taketh this ring.
Cat covenant ring.
Thou wearest that ring. It allows for thine summoning. If mine senses reveal intruders, then I will summon thee. Fend them off, sir. I beseech only this. I shall summon others who will, by their honor, work tirelessly with thee. Thou shalt receive great reward, and whatsoever ye shall pillage will be thine own. A true agreement, not so? But thou must heed the golden rule.
Alright.
The clan is thine own father. To thine kinsman forever stay true. Darest not in any attempt to double-cross. Have no doubt, such wretchedness never will we tolerate.
Alright, so we're now part of the cat covenant.
Thou dost cometh. How fares ye? My hopes for thee are of the highest. Do not such a hope shatter with foul disproportion.
Any more?
Thou might.
No. Alright, so all of these guys are now completely friendly to me. I could still totally, like, backstab them and kill them and all that, but they're now totally inactive. Over here, a new guy has appeared.
I've heard all about you. I'm Shiva of the East, captain of the brigade. Let's teach you the clan basics now, as there's no time to chat in the midst of fighting. Except there is little in the form of rules, you hear. Fight and hunt as you like. Whoever's fastest gets the prey. That's the way we do it. Only, don't forget what Alvina said. Traitors aren't given a second chance for any reason. That's about it then. Don't worry. It's a good old time, isn't it? Great to have you with us. Good hunting to you.
And this is Shiva of the East.
Don't worry now. You'll be called in soon enough. Hunters with patience score the best kills. Don't worry, you'll be hunters.
Fair enough. So that's Shiva of the East, captain of the Forest Hunters. And hidden back here we have his non-talking friend, who's wearing Ring of Fog, so you really can't see him that well. Now, Shiva actually has a cut story. Yeah, he has a cut, story where you get the Chaos Blade, and he'll fight you for it, and if he kills you, he takes it. And you get a black eye orb, and you have to hunt him down to reclaim the Chaos Blade. And that fight would have taken place in the Painted World. Now, a lot of it is actually in the game, interestingly enough. They just cut the actual, triggers to cause any of it. But it's most of it's there. In fact, I believe there are a couple of mods that enable parts of it. And it's there's even dialogue reported for some of it. It's really crazy. Nothing really there from a lore perspective, but it's interesting that they cut that storyline. It's another Demon Souls callback, because there's a character that does that with the Chaos Blade in that game, too. Now, the other thing with these guys is this guy here has a very special ring. It changes your, roll into a ninja flip if you are under 25% equip load. Now, it only has... So you have to be under 25%. And then it actually gives you extra iframes. So, pretty cool, honestly. Over here, we have this pretty hunter lady. So she has Ferris's hat and Ferris's bow. Now, the English descriptions specifically cite Ferris as being a guy, or it uses male pronouns, but apparently that's not the case in Japanese. So it's potentially possible that she is Ferris, or if you take the pronouns at face value, she isn't. And she's just like the next person to take up the mantle, so to speak. Because I believe in Japanese it very specifically does not feature pronouns. Alright. So we have a little bit of forest left. Not a lot. But yeah, there's a little bit of forest left. And then we have our unfinished business with the Four Kings. Good job. Well, that got crazy quickly. And here we get the eastern set. So there's nothing else in this area. Now, if you actually look over there, that's actually the entrance to Darkroot Basin. Right there's the path, and you can actually drop off there into the basin, which is interesting. Oh, wow, and you get a good view of the Hydra from up here. just swimming around. Curious that he's actually spawned in. I've never actually been up here with him still alive. So that's fascinating. So there's nothing else in this part of the woods. It's just more the trees. There is one other small section that we are going to peek into, though. Because, like a lot of spots in Dark Souls 1, it has unique enemies. So I definitely want to show that off. Oh man, he's like, he is aggroed. Like, man, he wants me. So anyways, right here is a ladder. I'm actually gonna scoot down real quick. So we'll be dealing with the Hydra later on. No real reason to mess with him at the moment. So, just for connection's sake, if you come over here, you got a nice long ladder, and right over there is Havel's Tower and the basin. So that's how all that links up. Huh. I was just realizing we never actually picked up the knight set, because we started as a knight, so we already had his armor. Is that the last starting class? I think it is. I think we've gotten the rest of them. Alright, anyways. We just have this teeny little pocket of the forest left, and then we're all set to go on and challenge the Four Kings. Alright, so over here we have a unique enemy type, a great feline. Alright, so they are permakills. Oh boy. I forgot how nonsense that attack is. It appears to ignore shields. Yeah, I did not lose any stamina. Man, I hate this enemy type. Ugh. Like, this enemy type is ridiculous. Okay. So those are permakills. They do not drop anything, and they are not directly guarding anything. So the only thing they're really guarding is if you go through the basin, up that bridge, which gets you around the door that requires the Crest of Artorias, should be mentioned. Oh, that's right, there is an item here. Souls? Souls. Good thing I came over here. But it leads directly over to Sif's Arena. So, I guess there is that. But it's like, there's not a whole lot of a reason to come over here. I need to buy some Homeward Bones. I am going to take care of that in between episodes. Alright. Now, with that, we are going to return to Firelink Shrine. Ah, there was this... Okay. Right. Ah. Felt like I had something in my throat there. Still kind of does. Ooh. Okay, so now it is time to take on the Four Kings. So, the Four Kings, and I'm talking about it a little bit now, because the run to them plus the actual boss fight, I'm probably not going to be talking too much. But the Four Kings are a DPS race. So essentially you have to out-DPS the boss. One super good way to handle that is to have high, like, poise armor, like I currently do. So that way you can just poise tank, and then heal when you're just about out of stamina. So the idea is you just stand there and just tank it, and whenever you get low on stamina, you heal. So I do have buffs. I have my great magic weapon. And that's all ready to go. I have the Leo ring, which will let me counter hits, which is super good given this boss's setup. I am going to have to pop off Havels, and I'm going to be going into fat roll territory at that point, instead of the mid-roll I'm currently rocking. But it is still super doable. Alright, so I'm just gonna sprint down the stairs a bit because I need to de-aggro the ghosts that can chase you through the fog wall. Because they just go through walls, because they're ghosts. Fat roll's fine. Because I'm not really gonna be rolling that much. Alright. Let's see, 236. 239. I think one-handed faster. DPS wins. It's not enough to worry about. Alright. Here we go. The Abyss. Alright, so the trick... I don't know where they spawn. Tricks to get in quick. Oh, man. My damage is horrible. Alright. Alright, so if you attack the downed kings, you actually do net more damage. Alright, mashing. Ah, he got me. Damn it. Heal. Turns out pierce weapons are not great. Oh, that's not good. I am super dead. Yep, I do not have the DPS for that. Damn it. Ricard's Rapier plus 13 is not enough. Okay. Alright. That's not great. Okay. Revised plan. I don't have enough DPS there. That should do. Oof. That was not great. Alright, let's give that another shot. Man, that DPS was not good. Like, Ricard's Rapier's damage was garbage. This one is better. Alright. And the counter hits only seem to count to the individual kings. Oh, that's a weird one, because it actually means it takes longer to kill the main boss, but you kill the king faster. Did they just resist pierce damage? In which case, this spear might be just as bad. Potentially. But yeah, if you have, like, a good damaging weapon, apparently, unlike Ricard's Rapier, you can really just chew through their health. Okay, and no buffing needed. I was kind of hoping I would have high enough DPS that I would buff in between kings, essentially. But it's like, yeah, even with the buff, I just do garbage damage. So that plan was ineffective at best. Should also be pointed out that my stats are not min-maxed at all. This build is like a jack of all trades, master of none. I've also put a lot of souls into upgrades. I've bought a bunch of spells, pyromancies, upgrading and pyromancy glow. So it's like, this character is not optimized at all. I think based on the number of souls I have used for various things, that was a good roll. I could easily be, like, level 90 or some such. Another good roll. I always slow there because it's super easy to fall off that bridge. I scared myself for a second. Well, that works. That makes sense. Alright. This is a lot more optimal. Yeah, like, this is what it's supposed to look like, fighting the Four Kings. If you do it fast enough, you end up with goofy moments like this where there are no kings to fight. It's really, really goofy. I don't know how to avoid the damage. What? Why'd that do so much damage? The heck? Why'd that hurt so much? I don't understand. Okay. Well, that was a horrible chain of events. Alright, spear is definitely the way to go. Okay then. He can two-shot me. Apparently with that attack in that range. Because I know he has a mechanic where attacks closer to his body do less damage. And then I think it falls... Yeah, so those close to him do less damage, building up to high damage partway up his blade, and I think it drops back off again or something like that. So I guess I was in the sweet spot. That's not great. Like, seriously, that is not great. Welp. Yeah, as it is, every so often I also miss an attack just due to angles. 314. Alright, that's not worth it. Stamina. A little bit more stamina, but the DPS bonus is not enough to warrant it. That and that's faster. So stick one-handed. Noted. Okay. I chose the Silver Knight Spear because it's one of the weapons that I currently have that is max upgraded. And it also kind of keeps what I had going before, being a thrusting weapon. More range. But honestly, for Kings, you're generally hugging him, so... range generally is not a concern in the Four Kings fight. Alright. Yeah, that drop-off before was perfect. Most of the time, if you drop off too early, you end up landing on one of these, and then you take fall damage. And that sucks. Whoa! So I forgot one of the tricks was to kind of circle him a little bit. As per normal for Souls bosses, circle strafing is the best. Because, like, his overhead and the stab will just miss you. Yeah, this is like the worst thing that could happen. When did I get so low on stamina? When did I run so low on Estus? God. Why did I only... What is going on? I am normally much better at Four Kings. Like, I struggled my first playthrough, of course, but it's like, after that, I have not had much of a problem. Is it the weapon? Seriously? Let's try this unmaxed out Black Knight sword. Because its moveset, at least, I like. And with that... Alright. And as long as I keep it under 60... As long as I keep it under 60, I can get a little bit more poise without majorly changing my look. Just min-max a little bit on the fly here. Alright. Ugh. The hitboxes on his stab and overhead, I was noticing, are fairly wide. Like, I was getting nicked by the edges of it on a few of those. Man, this is much worse than I remember. Also doesn't help that I'm a little rusty. I've been replaying Nier Automata a lot recently. And that game is very different, to say the least. And I'm talking like gameplay-wise, so it's like a lot of my Souls habits are underused as of late. Yeah, because it's been like a week since I've recorded any Dark Souls. So yeah, a lot of different things going on. It also appears like the Four Kings do magic damage, and it's leeching through my shield. Because it only has 20 magic. Yeah, that would explain why this shield is not cutting it. Alright. Alright. My Estus to boss damage ratio is much, much better. I cannot get the hang of that. God damn it. 2 grab attacks in a row. I hate it when bosses do that. On Four Kings in particular, that's disastrous. Alright, get in. We both totally missed there. Yeah! R2 strong attack kill. Black Knight Sword +3 saves the day. Whew. Humanity ×4, which logically makes sense. Oh boy. Alright, hello.
Greetings, undead warrior. I am the primordial serpent, Darkstalker Kaf. I can guide thee and illuminate the truth. The truth I shall share without sentiment. After the advent of fire, the ancient lords found the three souls, but your progenitor found a fourth, unique soul, the Dark Soul. Your ancestor claimed the Dark Soul and waited for fire to subside, and soon the flames did fade, and only dark remained. Thus began the Age of Men, the Age of Dark. However, Lord Gwyn trembled at the dark, clinging to his age of fire, and in dire fear of humans, and the Dark Lord who would one day be born amongst them. Lord Gwyn resisted the course of nature by sacrificing himself to link the fire and commanding his children to shepherd the humans. Gwyn has blurred your past to prevent the birth of the Dark Lord. I am the primordial serpent. I seek to right the wrongs of the past, to discover our true Lord. But the other serpent, Framt, lost his sense and befriended Lord Gwyn. Undead warrior, we stand at a crossroads. Only I know the truth about your fate. You must destroy the fading Lord Gwyn, who has coddled fire and resisted nature, and become the fourth Lord, so that you may usher in an age of dark.
Alright, so, there are few things here. So to start with, he's directly contradicting a lot of what we got from Framt, which he directly addresses. But one really big thing, and you'll see a lot of people like, Kath is so right, Gwyn and Framt are putting humans down, but it's like, have they not paid attention to what Kath has been doing? It's like, both of the places where Kath has tried his stuff, Ulasil and New Londo, end up super, super wrecked. Like, ridiculously wrecked. Alright, so I think it's fine as long as we don't play the Lord Vessel, but it's like, yeah, I don't really trust him.
I shall now guide you to Gwyn's prison. Be still, and trust thine flesh to me.
But, yeah. So it's like, well, it might be true that, Gwyn, is afraid of humans in the dark. It's like, that doesn't make the dark a good thing, necessarily.
This is Gwyn's prison. Now, place the Lord Vessel upon the altar.
Because it's like, you look at New Londo, that place is super wrecked. The Dark Wraiths, which work for him, wrecked that place. Ulasil, which we'll be getting to later, that place is super wrecked, and it's all thanks to this guy.
What is it? Place the Lord vessel upon the altar.
So it's just like, yeah, I don't trust you at all. Alright. Well, that works. I'm gonna need to go and get those souls. So anyways, my plan is to side with, Fram on this one. I said at that other bonfire. Didn't I? Oh, that's super weird. Really?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well and wide awake. Do not treat me like an old withering snake.
Ho, Frampt. Bring me.
I am pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent?
Oh, hey, I can do this. This is what I was... Okay. Alright. Well, that kind of solves that a bit. Oh, wow, they didn't put numbers on this.
Farewell.
That is annoying and weird. Alright, so I currently have 25. 35. So this is for future stuff.
Farewell.
How much am I up to? 60. Alright. Let's feed him.
Farewell.
Is... Alright. That's definitely good on those. I don't have many chunks. Not gonna mess with that. Alright. Feed item. Really? I'll take that. I'll keep that. Where are they? Yeah, so all soul items are 500. The funny part is the small souls, like the Soul of the Lost Undead and Large Soul of the Lost Undead, aren't worth the 500. So you actually make more that way. Anyways. Copper coin. Silver coin. And gold coin. So that's actually all I really needed Frampt for. Was I wanted to feed him my Titanite so that I would have enough. Because it saves me a lot of trouble farming.
Farewell, chosen.
So I think I will actually side with Frampt then. Or Kath then. For the trophy. Yeah, I guess I didn't sit at it. Well, that sucks. Alright, so I'm gonna have to run all the way back down there. Take a seat to get that bonfire warpable. And then place the Lord Vessel with Kath and join his Dark Wraiths for the trophy, because I do not need Frampt at this point. And it does not tie you into an ending, which is nice. But no, we'll talk a lot more about the entire Kath versus Frampt and the endings that are tied to their philosophies, but not who you place it with later on. And I phrase it like that because, like, I am not locked into Kath in the Dark Lord ending if I do it this way. I could kindle the first flame, or whatever it is. This is annoying. Like, straight up. Alright. So, my +3 Black Knight Greatsword ate through 4 Kings. So, imagine if it was like +5, or if it was like the Ultra Greatsword. That might not be as good because attack speed. But yeah. Anyways. This one has gone on way longer than it should have. Oh wow, the bonfire... God! Ugh. That got me good.
If you wish, I shall grant the art of life drain.
Hello.
The legendary power of the Dark Lord. It can preserve your humanity while undead, and cast off the shackles placed upon your brethren.
Really? I can do it even without... Trophy pop. Damn. Damn. Okay. That changes. I'm gonna place with Framped. Dark Hand. Just doing it for the Dark Hand. Ah, okay. So that's purchase.
Undead warrior, to speak now is premature. It begins with your retrieval of the Lord Vessel.
Okay, is that all you have?
They failed me, every last one of them. They were strong, but saw not the truth. I am certain that you will prove different.
So that is one thing with Kath and Framped. It's like, no, you're not the first one. Everyone else just failed. But you're the guy. You.
Every last one.
That's a very consistent thing with them. Where it's like, no, the other guy just sucked. It's just like... But, no, we'll get a lot more into their entire thing later on. But no, I do want to place with Framp because his services are more useful. Now, if you actually place the Lord Vessel with Framp before you beat the 4 Kings and could have met Kath.
Is it? Very well, then.
Yeah, but if you've done it before you've met Kath, Kath will never appear, and you will never get the other side story. Which is really interesting. So most players never see Kath. Which is part of the reason I did 4 Kings first, specifically to show him off. Even though I didn't plan on siding with him. I have 108k. Damn. Here we go. It's interesting that depending on who you place it with, or if you go by yourself, the other side will refuse to talk to you. Never mind, like, this is not definitive towards either side. Like, you have to do this either way, so... So, we haven't actually seen any of those, have we, in this playthrough? So, that last one was Tomb of the Giants. That's Duke's Archives. And Demon Ruins. So now, we're able to advance into a couple of other areas. Offer souls. Oh, I didn't read that. Crap. Well, that's not the end of the world. I don't think there's much in that description. I'll check, though, like I normally do. Alrighty. And then level up. Alright, these are all pretty much where I want them. I'm going to need more intelligence way later on. Let's get some vitality. Alright. Nice.
Very well. As Kingseeker, I shall now instruct you, the Lord's successor, in your next task.
Alright.
To achieve your fate, fill the vessel with powerful souls, commensurate to the great soul of Gwyn. Scarce few possess such brilliant souls. Grave Lord Nito, the Witch of Isolith, the 4 kings of New Londo, who inherited the shards of Gwyn's soul, and Lord Gwyn's former confidant, Seath the Scaleless. All of their souls are required to satiate the Lord Vessel.
There's her next mission.
Are you ready? Then we shall return. Stay still for a moment.
So, I really wish they had cast different voice actors. Because them having the same voice actor and looking identical just makes it seem like it's the same creature playing you, like, super hard. Which you definitely see is not the case if you do the Dark Lord ending, but it's still, like, it's super goofy.
I am pleased to see. Is it? The beings who possess these souls have outlived their usefulness. All
Very
have
telling.
chosen the path of the wicked. As the primordial serpent, I implore you to defeat them and claim their souls. Let there be no guilt. Let there be no vacillation. The beings who...
I love that. Or have outlived their usefulness. It's like, that line is like, Very, very telling. Now, I have placed a soul in the Lord Vessel, so I do believe, if I talk to Anastasia,
that you have agreed to link the fire. I thank you sincerely. Finally, the curse of the undead will be lifted, and I can die human. I am powerless, but I will do all that I can. Please, save us all. Please.
there is the sound.
Forgive me. Leave. I wish.
Alright. But no, if you paid attention, you heard like a that was the Firelink bonfire getting kindled up to 20. Very nice. Now, the Abyss, please. So I'm going to go see if Kath is just gone or if he has any words for us. And then I'm going to show off the unique animation. Kath is still chilling.
Nonsense. Are you mad? This is deplorable. You would rather be a slave? Does the truth mean nothing to you? This is unacceptable. Impossible. Unthinkable. Oh, enough with you. Farewell, pitiful, unknowing fool. I shall return to the Abyss and await the true Lord of Men.
So he does have, like, anger dialogue. Interesting. So I just want to do a thing here. Aw, you can't do it. You have to drop in. Oh, that's annoying. Heh, kinda goofy though. Anyways, so with all that, I am gonna wrap this one up here. Next time, we're gonna go ahead and start to chase the remaining 3 Lord Souls. So right now, I'm looking at Gravelord Nito as the next one. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this one up here, and I'll see all of you guys later. Bye!